Hello, it's Stephanie with Coffee Paper Scissors, and I am going to be putting pockets in today for the tags that we made in the last video. So I have things prepared, so it should make it easier. I've been sitting around all day playing with paper and getting stuff ready, so I'm just going to kind of move things out of the way and stack it and unstack it and that sort of thing as we go. So, and then hopefully I can remember, because I started it this morning and it is now 2:45. So who knows? Okay, so this one, I'm planning on creating a pocket here, and then this tag would hold this flap closed. And, but I wanted to make it, I believe that I want to make it at an angle. So let me grab, so what I've done so far is I've made the pocket and I've done some flaps. Now I'm just going to create not a huge angle, but a bit of an angle. And then I'm just going to take and remove a little bit more of this so that it's just not in the way of the tag as it's going down into the pocket. Okay. And then let's see. I have this piece of paper. This is not from the kit. It is an authentic piece of paper that I have a scrap kind of left of it. And it has the blue and the red, so it's kind of perfect. But I don't even think I only have a portion of it left, so I can't even tell you what paper it is what I'm trying to say. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this on like that. Yeah, that's what I'm like, what was I thinking? So I think that's what I was thinking. Oh, and then I'll show you the paper pad that piece of paper came from. It was from Hobby Lobby, and I've used it once before. It blends together. I don't even remember which journal it was, but there is a journal I used some of this in, and it wasn't the gingham journal, so I don't know. Oops. Okay, so just a little tad under there to get those flaps glued down, for when they are actually on the pocket or page or envelope. So when I did this originally, this envelope was folded the other direction with the flap on the outside. But as I was playing with the papers, I discovered that when the signature was all put together, having this flap on this side would make it so that whatever I put in the pocket was going to be difficult to get back in. Like, it might be easy to pull out, but it might be kind of a challenge to get back in, because, it would be like rounded. And so then it would be hard to play with the flap. This way, it will open up flat and it should be really easy to play with. Okay, that paper pad is, oh no, it's Michael's Recollections, and it's Countryside Campaign. And I believe I purchased it at the beginning of summer. I don't know if they still have it, but it's not a real old paper pack. So, and then I'm just going to put this lady here in the center. This is from the kit. I will go ahead and list all of the information for the kit and stuff down below again. I keep on touting her digitals. They're just so pretty. But when you subscribe to her newsletter, she will let you know when a new kit is coming out. And a coupon comes with that. So, sometimes you might, or not a coupon. I think she puts it, if I remember right, when she's doing a new kit, the first week that it's in her shop, it's 50% off or something like that. Anyway, when I purchased this kit, it was 50% off. I used this to cover, you know, when the envelope has the place this stamp here or place a stamp here, I used those to cover that. Okay, the next one will be this. I've got a couple. I'm going to try and go in order. So we're going to ignore this right now. Okay. So this here is the one that has the writing underneath it. And so for this pocket, I just took the same paper, cut a pocket out, and I did a couple layers of fabric to kind of look like a napkin or a tablecloth. And then I just stitched at the top. And that helps to reinforce since it's not a real heavy paper. This gigantic gingham print came from Hobby Lobby. And you know, sometimes, well, all the time at Hobby Lobby, their loose papers always have writing on the back. This particular one, almost the entire back has writing on it, or I don't know, 2/3 of it, which to me is very frustrating. But just so you know, if you go and look for it, it's there. I saw it recently. But yeah, you can't, you have to do something to both sides of the paper. Otherwise, you will see all that writing. Okay, so then here is a label from something else. It was not from this kit. And then I'm going to put one of the fussy cuts. And when I'm going back through adding embellishments and laces and fabrics, I kind of do that last. I kind of do all my papers, my pockets, my thises and my that's. And then I go back and I say, what's missing? And when I do that, I might add something like a button up in here or something. I don't know yet. But then again, I may not. We'll just see. Paper towel up here. Sorry about my reach. I've been trying to get in the habit of cleaning my glue nozzle off each time I use it so that the cap doesn't get so coated with stuff, because when it does, and then you put the lid off and on, it gets what's in the lid down in the hole and it clogs your nozzle up more quickly. I don't have anything to go down inside this pocket yet. I don't know what will be in there. Okay, so then on this one, I just wanted to glue this down, and I am going, so these open up, right? So I am going to glue it down here, here, and here so that it's a tuck, and then it also opens up for tons of journaling on the inside. So, and again, on this one, I don't know, you know, what will be tucked inside. I'm just getting it down. To make sure that I'm not gluing this down together, you know, so that it doesn't open anymore. So these are just vintage, you know, greeting cards that I found at an estate sale quite a while back. I've had them for a really long time, and you know, you just kind of forget to use things sometimes. I've been trying more often, and I used to worry about what they said, and I try not to worry about that anymore, and I just go for color or theme. I added a little fabric tab there. I'll do something else with it. Okay, so here, I'm going to add this up here, but then I'm going to add this to it as well so that it's a tuck spot in here. So let's go ahead. I'm gonna move this out of the way, and I'm gonna put glue down. My piece of paper doesn't go all the way to the very edge of the flap, so I'm not gonna be putting glue totally all the way over there. Make sure that folds okay. Okay, and so then when it gets put down onto the page, we're just gonna glue right here. My glue went too far over there on the end. Bring this paper back in and just lay it down. It's glue squishing out. So I have a very frustrating baking story. I was going to make, so I have Bible study at my house on Sunday evening. People from church come over for a Bible study. And this tag is going to go in here. And I used to make this cake that I'm sure a lot of you have had. It's called Mandarin Orange Cake. Okay, so that goes like that. Okay, so that's, and then this will be, you know, a place where you can just tuck something. Anyway, I was gonna make Mandarin Orange Cake, and it's so good. But, you know, I have to eat gluten-free, doggone gluten-free. And so the Mandarin Orange Cake recipe is one that, okay, before I go on any further, this is an image of a tablecloth from this book, More Terrific Tablecloths, Loretta Smith Failing. And it is a book full of beautiful images of tablecloths. And I have cut into it, so nobody tell me that I did a terrible thing, because it's already done, and I plan on doing it some more. It's a book that tells you, I guess, what it will know if you find them, like the average cost for those particular styles. Okay, so the cake. So I have to eat gluten-free, and this particular cake is one of those where you use a mix. That's just what the recipe is. I'm sure there's a from scratch one. In fact, I do have a recipe that's from scratch, but I was trying to do the quick route because I was baking the cake before church yesterday morning, and I was going to frost it when I got home. So I pull out my yellow gluten-free cake mix. This sometimes takes a minute when there's thread. And I followed the recipe, not on the box. You're supposed to follow the Mandarin Orange Cake recipe, you know, not the box recipe. But it's very similar. You add a very similar amount of oil, eggs, and liquid. Well, it didn't rise. And this is not gluing. It's not sticking. Yeah, the cake didn't rise. It was, oh my goodness, you guys. So I was so frustrated because I was really looking forward to having some cake. Okay, this is not sticking. So what I did when I got home, right when it came out of the oven, I had a little chunk of it. I could tell I wasn't going to make the cake because, you know, it was flat. It did not rise. And we've all had cakes that don't rise, and they're not good. So I had a little bite of it fresh out of the oven. And actually, fresh out of the oven, it was fine. But then when we got home from church, I cut a chunk of it out again, and I took a bite, and I'm like, oh my goodness. My husband's like, oh, it'll be fine. We'll just eat it. One of the ladies from church, she said, oh, it'll be fine. You should just make the cake. And I'm like, you do not understand. It is not going to be fine. So my husband, you know, he cut a piece, and he took a bite of it. I had left the kitchen, and I come back in there, and the cake that he had cut, it was gone already within like 20 seconds. I'm like, what happened? He had thrown it away. He actually couldn't even swallow what he had taken. He spit it out. I was so frustrated, you guys. But, okay, so that's pretty. I added a little tab here and a little yellow bread flour. So, but I was so determined. I'm like, doggone it, because those gluten-free cake mixes are not cheap. So I cut it up into, you know, squares like this and individually wrapped them and stuck them in the freezer. So I've got little frozen chunks of misery in my freezer, which is waiting for when I'm desperate. Oh my goodness. I wasn't laughing about it yesterday. Okay, so this one to me, I don't know, that the pink, you know, and this right here, this part is kind of pinkish to me. So I feel like it goes there. And then this, I just took a blue piece of paper and I folded it in half so that it would be, you know, something you could open and write on. But it wasn't quite big enough. Like, I was afraid when I glued it down, there wasn't going to be space for the tag to go down in there. So I took another strip and used a decorative punch and added it so that it just kind of hangs over like that. And now my pocket is plenty big enough to glue down, and this will go in and out easily. So, and then I added some doily and stitched around it. And then one of these, it's from the kit. So what did I end up doing? I ended up buying a pre-made dessert from the store for everybody else, which is often what I do. I did, however, make some delicious enchiladas. Oh my goodness. I mean, I make them the same every time I make them, but you know how sometimes things turn out really well and other times it's like not so great? I don't understand, but I totally do the same thing as far as ingredients every time. But this time it just worked. But instead of rolling the enchiladas, because I really was being lazy, not really, I wasn't being lazy, I was running out of time because I had to clean the house and stuff for people coming over, which is something that happens every Sunday. You would think that it's not a surprise to me that I need to clean the house. Anyway, instead of rolling them, I layered them like a casserole, and it was delicious. I just put oil on the bottom so that they didn't stick, and I covered the bottom with the tortillas, and then I layered the ground beef, cheese, the enchilada sauce, and I did some onion powder. My husband doesn't like onions, but I can use onion powder, so I did onion powder in it, and it was really good. Okay, so this, I am making a little belly band to go right here, but this tag just barely fits, right? And so if I glued here and here, there's no way I would get this down in. So what I decided to do was give it a little tab, and I am gonna glue it on the back side, leaving this totally open, and then I'll glue here. Let me show you what I mean. So my glue's gonna go here and over here. Get that thread in there. So that's gonna go underneath. I don't know where I want it necessarily. Sometimes, I don't know. I'm just going to stick this on here to help myself out to get it to glue down without me holding on to it so long. Okay, so I'll show you here in a second the back side. I'm sure you can figure out what I've done. And then I just took one of the cuts, fussy cuts, and I am going to glue it down like that. I think I didn't mark the sides, so it'll be fine. I'm just going to put glue kind of in the center. Pull that off for a second. So it's like that on the back side. Okay, and then this now fits down in there just fine, whereas it wouldn't have if I hadn't done it the way I did it. I'm going to go ahead and leave this on there for now. Okay, what's next? All right, so we have in the center, I have this bag, this glassine bag. Make sure I've got the front side. So I took this, is it ticking? Is that what it's called? And a large black rickrack and sewed it down. And then I am going to, I had it, there it is, add this. So I'm just going to decorate it like that. Let's go ahead and glue this part down. I'm going to use Fabri-Tac. So I had to go and buy Fabri-Tac, I think this one's 3-in-1 that I have right now. You guys, so expensive. Luckily, I had a 50% off coupon for Joann Fabric. It was either 50 or 40, but I mean, either way, it helped for sure. When I first started doing this craft, that particular glue was something like $8. And now it was 14 something. The full price, not what I paid, but the full price. So I'm going to use Fabri-Tac on this side and then my art glitter glue on the other side. So I need to be a lot more aware of using my coupons when they come in. Whenever I get a 50% off coupon, I need to just go in there and get some more glue because that's insane. And like, you cannot run out. I mean, that's horrible. Okay, oh, my hand is stuck. Okay, and then I am just going to, I think I'm gonna glue it down with, what am I gonna glue it down with? Let's see. I guess just art glitter glue. I don't think it'll cause a problem on the paper underneath. Now you could glue this down so this is also a pocket. I just don't want to. It's a one signature. I don't want to go crazy and make it too bulky. So it's gonna be bulky, but I don't want it to be too bulky. And then the tags that I am going to put in there are these. So there and there. There's a little bit of black. That's why I was using the black rickrack, because there's a little bit of black in that tag. I thought that worked out well. Okay. So there's that one. And then over here we have, what do we have? Let's see. I don't know. I might be able to just work here. I have just, this is a piece of red gingham that was from another kit. I think it was an authentique kit, and I think it came with just one piece. I've used it in another journal at some point, so this is a scrap. So this little thing of cherries is from the kit. I'm gonna glue it to the top as a little tab decoration sort of thing. So I think that's cute. And then this basket from the kit. I'm gonna put that over here. So I'm still determined to try and finish this in 1 week. I'm trying. I don't know if it'll happen. Again, since there's the fabric, the thread, takes a second to want to hold. Sorry if it's wiggling. Just try to get a few of these on there to help it out. If the thread isn't there, it's not really that big of a deal. It you know, grabs really fast. But and then in here, I was going to put these two. How long are we? 27 minutes already. Good grief. I mean, it kind of makes sense when you consider the fact I've been working on it all day long. We're more than halfway there. I mean, I think we are. Okay, so for this one, I am going to, I just found this. I was going through my drawers and I found it and I was like, oh, I've got to use this in here. So I cut it in half and I am going to glue it down so that this part is going to stick out the side. So I'm just going to take and kind of glue as I go. And put it down and see where else I need it is my plan. I know I'm gonna need another stick of glue here in just a second. Okay, and then I'm gonna go just up the side here. And just putting glue on the solid bits. And then I'm planning on leaving it so that it's a tuck, not a pocket. Because if I did it this way, it would be a pretty little pocket. But if I leave it just like that, I've got dried glue now on my fingers. Hold on, let me kind of get it back together. If I leave it like this, then I can take something and slide it in like this, and a bigger piece can go in there that way, but then it won't fall out because it's glued down here on the bottom. So, and then I think that'll be really pretty when it's closed. You'll have some stuff kind of hanging out the side. So let me get these undone now. Okay. All right, so this one is just one of these. I am going to glue it on that, side. So that it is a tuck. It could be glued down as a pocket or a tuck. It could be glued down so that it's a pocket going that way, like coming from here. Just whatever you want to do. But it just kind of makes it easier, especially when your journal's getting really full. If it's a tuck spot, you don't have to fight so much to get it in there. And then this opens. I'll add a tab or something like that at some point, right up in here or right up in here, so that it's obvious that it opens. Okay, we're getting there. Okay, so this one, again, I've got to cover this again. So I took one of the cutoffs, from this really pretty paper, and I made it so that it would fit, the space. I folded it over, and then I took what was left and folded it over to make this little pocket. And underneath here is Hobby Lobby's wonderful printing. So it was nice to be able to cover that up. I stitched around the front and I stitched around this pocket. Of course, you have to stitch here, then glue it down and stitch here, here, and here. Otherwise, you're going to stitch your pocket closed. And then I am going to glue it down here. These on again just so that it's easy. And then there's only stitching right here, so I think I'll just do the one. The rest of it should hold pretty easily. And then, so that's a pocket there. And then on the front, I wanted to just add this really pretty thing here from the kit. And then I wanted to glue this kind of underneath it. I think what I'm going to do is glue this down first. I'm going to add some hot glue to it. Oh, that's a lot of hot glue. My stick of hot glue just fell out of it. Rolled away. Who knows where to either, because, oh, there it is. I'm gonna need it. So then I'm going to add glue to the top part. And then hot glue down here so that it just sticks really fast on top of that fabric. And then at some point, I will add a tab so that it's obvious that that opens. So, and then in that one, I wanted to put these. And then inside, I don't know, I'll leave this, but like this bingo one fits really nice. Make sure everything's nice and held down. We're almost done. I think there's only one more. Yeah. Let's see. I'm going to hold it open. Maybe. Actually, let me just take this out. And I'll work right here. So I took another one of those pieces of the gingham paper and I added a little bit of eyelet trim down here at the bottom. So we're just going to glue that down as a pocket. We're gonna do hot glue again down across the bottom, just for fastness. There's a string. And then I'm gonna glue this pretty piece. I have the hardest time with the what is up and what is down, and so I just choose what goes in my eye. I don't know if I'm right or wrong. I try to take gravity into consideration on all that kind of stuff, and then I'm just like, I have no idea. We're gonna do it like this. Okay, and then in this one, I will be putting this tag. Very cute. Okay, so that is everything that I have. Let's just quickly look through it if you don't mind. What I'm gonna do on this, I'm gonna print another one of these and add it. This is too flimsy to be a front page, I think. I just really need to thicken it up. So we have this pocket, this one, this tuck, this one. I'll do more decorating. This one that opens, and then this little band, the bag. This pocket. It's funny how a whole day's work for me can be finished in half an hour. Yeah, it's real funny. And then this, I think, is real pretty. I might add something, you know, more to it. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know what I'll do. I still have so much work to do. I'm going to try not to overdo it, but that's really hard for me. This opens, and then the last one. All right, you guys, there we go. I hope you are having a wonderful day, and I will see you soon. Bye.